What's up, everyone? Bitcoin is teasing us with 10,000. Yep, it came real close, but it did not get there. So let's take a look at the chart. And as you can see, we're pulling back right now. We pulled back a little bit yesterday. So I'll zoom in a bit and you'll see we finally essentially broke out of this little range here. We pushed higher, finally got above that 96, 9700 area and looked like we're making a run at 10K and got damn close. So you see the high is 9,948. So we basically came 50 points shy of hitting 10,000 on the Coinbase exchange at least. And then yesterday pulled back, and then the new candle as of an hour ago is pulling back as well. So interesting. Um, positive news is we pushed higher. We got above this range a little bit. The negative news is, we basically got near 10K and stalled out. So 10K is still a psychological barrier, and apparently we're struggling to get up to it, and obviously through it if we do get up to it. The question is, are we going to pull back now to the bottom of this range, or is this just a little breather before it finally pushes through 10K? As usual, only time will tell. But the good news is it's on the positive side in that we pushed higher, we got slightly out of this range, got close to 10K. Now we're pulling back a little bit. That's much better than if the opposite happened, as in we broke down from the bottom of this range and then essentially, started just bouncing off. Probably at this point would have been this trend line if we had come down. Um, so much rather see us up, pulling back, and being at 9,400 than bouncing and being at 87. So basically, picture the inverse of this happening, right? So if you look at it that way, therefore, this is still positive price action. So um, we're still, grinding higher slowly. So trend is still positive. Trend is still upward, and we'll see what happens. I mean, technically, we just made a higher high because it was higher than this. So now we just need this to essentially not go below basically 9K, and that will give us another higher low. And granted, these are very small movements, but it doesn't matter. They're still positive movements, and they're slow progressions higher. So I'll take it. I don't care if we're moving up very slowly as long as we're moving up. So again, the price action is still decently positive. Obviously is on the positive side. So just let's be patient. We'll see what happens over the next 24 to 48 hours here, and if we can finally breach this 10K. Ethereum is acting obviously much stronger. So if you take a look at Ethereum, um, my video from a couple days ago, I talked about how we broke out, big strong candle, took us above this resistance, above this prior consolidation, and now you'll see after getting that move, now we're getting some consolidation, pulled back a little bit, but it's remaining well above the resistance and above this prior consolidation here, around 730, 735. So Ethereum is strong, so we'll see. Ideally, we consolidate here and then leg up again and make a run at this prior high here around 875. That would be a reasonable move considering we were just up at about 815, 820 before we pulled back here. So we'll see. We'll see if it can just consolidate and then leg up towards the next level. Obviously, your downside would be, the clearest one is the support here around 680. But ideally, hopefully, it's just building a little range here, consolidating this up move before it legs up again. Again, all we can do is wait and see. Obviously, anyone that purchased on the breakout here, it's looking good. And either we're going to consolidate, like I said, and leg up to this next prior top, or maybe it pulls back to take a breather and test these prior prices. Anywho, let's look at Litecoin, because Litecoin is also acting constructively in that basically finally pushed out, finally got out of this range it was in, and breached this prior high, and now it's pulling back, and look where it is right now. It pushed up, right, got higher than this prior high after breaking out, and where is it right now? Basically right back there, testing that prior high, that prior price. So we'll see. Hopefully it can maintain here. Ideally, I want to see it stay above at least a $1.65. Otherwise, kind of takes away from the positive price action and makes it more neutral, and then puts us in a position where we can come back down and possibly test the bottom of this range at $1.45. Or obviously, if we can maintain and bounce, then you're looking at the next level of, what is this? Call it $1.90 in terms of this last consolidation, this last basically step when it was stair stepping down. So that was the last spot where there's plenty of price action. Obviously, buyers and sellers are knocking it back and forth. So that would be our next upside target. And that's it. As usual, know your upsides, know your downsides. As far as, well, and again, it's all about your point of view in terms of if you're buying on a trade or if you're buying as an investment. If you bought as a trade on this breakout, then really you use this now as your support. You use that as almost like your stop. If you didn't take any profits, then but in terms of a longer term perspective, let's say you bought when it was bouncing along this range and it pushed up. Well, I don't know. Maybe you sell some on the breakout, so you sell some even now still technically, and then if it pulls back, you buy back cheaper, while still keeping a core position, or you can just let the whole thing, go. Again, it all depends on what you're trying to do, and it depends on what your time horizon is. But obviously, there was opportunities here, especially obviously, when we were testing this support level or whatever. So decisions, and again, all I'm trying to do is essentially help you recognize price points so you can make these decisions for yourself and make them according to what your game plan is, what your risk tolerance is, and what your overall investing strategy is. So, but I think that is it. You know what? Let's take a look at EOS real quick because I had mentioned this one a couple times last week. In terms of that, it went basically parabolic and we got the blow off top and then boom, big surprise, we got a little pullback. Well, the good news is basically pull back and now it's bouncing around here, consolidating. And essentially what this is what they call flag pattern. It's one of many technical analysis patterns that are out there, and it's one of my favorite that I look at. So basically, as long as we can maintain like 1650, really is like as long as it doesn't close below 1650, then essentially this consolidation is still valid and it's essentially in a bull flag. What we want to see is essentially it leg back, it leg up. So essentially, the flag is getting smaller, so you have this little downslope against the straight line support. And essentially that's gotten tighter and tighter and tighter. So we're at the point now where it's pretty much, what would be at the apex of that. So we want to push higher. So we'll see what happens. So that's basically the price points. Either 1650, if we close below that, that is bearish. If we push higher and get to like 18, then that's bullish, and we could make a run at the all-time highs again because that'll snap us out of a little bull flag and essentially mean that it coiled up to bounce again. So that's it. And like I said, we'll see how things play out over the next day or two on these cryptos, and we will talk about it then. All right, see you on the next video.